Today, we make New Year's food. Osaek-dasik, 5-colored cookies, and sujungkwa, Persimmon Punch. Osaek-dasik has traditional Korean designs. The 5 colors and 5 flavors are unique. There is a beverage that is perfect with Osaek-dasik. Sujungkwa is a traditional winter punch. Find out what kinds of foods are served at traditional Korean ancestral rites on Korean Food Story. Let's find out how to make Osaek-dasik, 5-colored cookies, and sujungkwa, Persimmon Punch.
안녕하세요. Hello everyone. Thanks for joining us on More Than Kimchi. I'm 정화영. 정월 초하루 is the first day of the lunar calendar, the biggest holiday in Korea. On that day, Koreans enjoy traditional cookies called 오색다식. Today we'll show you how to prepare 오색다식, 5-colored cookies, and 수정과, traditional persimmon punch. Now let's welcome Mrs. 이 동순, our cooking instructor today. 네, 안녕하세요.
안녕하세요.
오늘 잘 부탁드리겠습니다.
네, 반갑습니다.
Also, I'm happy to have Melanie Billings-Yoon with us as our guest today. Hello, Melanie.
It's good to be
nice
back.
to see you again. So today we are making this traditional food for New Year's Day. And let's take a look at the ingredients now.
All right.
So I said it's a 5-colored cookie, so let's take a look at the 5 ingredients that we're going to have 5 colors. Here I have mung bean starch, which is white, but I'm going to use omija berries to have a sort of reddish pink color. And then I have, this is very interesting thing you probably never seen or used. This is called pine cone pollen, powdered pine cone pollen, I know. And we're going to have a very nice yellow color from it. And then here's powdered chestnut, which will be brownish color. And this is black from black sesame seeds. And this is green peas for the green color. So these are the 5 ingredients for the 5-colored cookies. And for sweetening, I have honey, cornstarch, and sugar. And the second dish we're going to make is a 수정과, traditional persimmon punch. We will use dried persimmon over there, which is called 꽃감. And then we use walnuts, and these are sticks of cinnamons, and then ginger, pine nuts, and sugar. So that's the ingredients that we're going to use today. 선생님 시작할까요, 이제?
네,
Let's start our
오색다식부터
cooking.
할게요.
네.
자, 가루가 있는데요. 자, 요거는 제가 물감을 들여볼게요. 자,
So first we're going to start with those 5-colored cookies. First, let's start with the mung bean starch, which is a white powder, but we'll use the omija berry. So omija is a traditional berry, so we use a lot for punch or some food that you want red color in. So these are natural dye.
그래서 꿀
So
좀
let's see how
주시겠어요?
it's going to
네.
turn out. So here, that's the mung bean starch with omija berry water, and then honey. So that's all. The ingredients are quite simple for traditional Korean, cookies.
자, 이렇게
So,
해서요. 녹두 녹말하고 밤가루 요거는 이제 찜통에 쪄서 그거는 이제 붉은색 내는 게 아니기 때문에 꿀만 가지고 반죽해 주세요.
해볼까요? 이걸 멜란지로 시켜볼까요?
네, 해보세요.
So here we have a mung bean starch, which is white with the omija water. So it's pinkish, and we'll give you a job doing. These are powdered chestnuts, steamed chestnut, and then you make a powder. So this is what that is, and you will mix this with honey.
여기도 이제 꿀을 조금
So here
주시면,
is the chestnuts, and then we have mung bean starch, and these are the what I just introduced, pine cone pollen, yellow color. We'll mix this also with
I
the
must say
honey
that's
too.
an ingredient I've never heard of before.
And it's a natural ingredients that we really like to use for traditional cooking, especially to make a yellow color. So we'll
Now,
see.
I was watching, and you put just about enough in this to make a kind of a dough.
Yeah, also these are the finished kind of dough. I want to feel the texture. So
Okay,
this is
let's
what we
see.
are getting.
It's like Play-Doh
Oh, good.
or clay.
So if you can remember, the texture should be like a Play-Doh or like a clay. That's what we are trying to get over here.
All right.
with the honey, so pure honey and chestnuts. And then mung bean starch with the omija and a little bit of honey there. And this is 송화, which means pine cone pollen. We'll also mix it with the honey. If you can pass me the
Okay, now,
honey.
are these going to have strongly different flavors, or is it mostly color that we're looking
Well,
for
we'll see.
here?
You have to tell us after we all finish whether they all,
This
taste
chestnut
similar.
one sounds really
Definitely
fascinating.
similar. But, we are using black sesame seeds. Also, we are using, different kinds. So I think it'll be all different.
Well, I can't wait to try this pine pollen.
Yeah, and then also the, green peas, which of course will be taste like peas with the honey. So let's see. The making cookies would be a fun part. And then these are again from the black sesame seeds, real dark black color. Again with honey.
Yeah.
자, 송화가루 굉장히 가루가요. 굉장히 부드럽기 때문에.
Yeah. And for 송화, which is pine cone pollen, it's very light and it's very, it kind of flies very easily. So making dough is a little bit delicate.
Well, I guess
Yes.
pollen does fly easily.
Exactly right. And these are also steamed and then powdered.
자, 이렇게 반죽해 놓고요.
So we made the dough little by little.
자, 시럽 만들어 보도록 할게요. 자,
So the
시럽은요.
next step is making syrup. We will use corn syrup, and this is honey we will use later, and then a little bit of water and sugar. So first we start with the sugar and corn syrup and some water. Because usually when you make syrup, you use the sugar.
Oh, yeah.
Right? For this, we'll have 3 ingredients to make the sweet flavor: sugar, corn syrup, and then later we'll add the honey. So once it's boiled, we have to put the honey.
콩가루.
And then once you make the syrup, we will mix the syrup with this green peas, powder of green peas, and then of course black sesame seeds. So Mrs. Lee will make with the black sesame seeds, and Melanie, you mix with the corn syrup.
Again, this is a very fine
Very,
powder.
very fine powder, right. They kind of fly as we make. So we have to make a little bit of mess around here, I think. 그래서 끓으면은 이제 그걸 넣어야 되겠죠?
끓으면 이제 꿀을 넣어주세요.
네, so it doesn't really take too long to make syrup. All you need to do is water, sugar, and corn syrup.
So you just wait till the sugar completely melts into the water?
And start make a full boil. Then we'll
Okay.
just add honey. That's it. So make a nice full boil right now here. And then we'll add the honey.
설탕이 녹으면.
So the first 3 ingredients we mixed with the honey. For the black sesame seeds and then green peas, we'll just add the syrup we are just making.
Do you know why? In some you use a more liquid form, and in some you just use the honey?
I think you have to ask my ancestor. We just follow their steps. 그래서 선생님, 근데 지금 멜라니가 재밌는 질문을 했는데요. 왜 시럽을 이 2가지에 넣습니까, 선생님?
꿀만 넣으면요 너무 질어지기 때문에
그래요?
시럽을 만드는 거예요.
Yeah. I think it's also like a binder too. But also if you use just the honey, it becomes too sticky. So
I found that.
as you make the dough, right?
가루가 요거는
Right.
약간 축축해서요.
Yeah, because these you don't want to use the honey; it becomes too sticky. So we'll add the syrup. So this is powder of green peas. Add the syrup we just made, and then black sesame seeds on this side. So that's the reason.
This is so much
A
fun.
lot easier. Yeah. And then these are the we already made. We can add on later. So black sesame seed, powdered black sesame seeds, and the syrup we just made, we are just mixing it. 그걸 다시 한번 쪄야 되죠?
네, 다시 한번.
And one more process we need for black sesame seed is because in order to make a real nice binding together, we need to steam. We need to have one more process. So a little bit kind of long for you if you really try at home. So one more steaming, that's what you need for black
I
sesame
like
seeds.
these green peas. They're coming up such a brilliant color.
Yes, isn't that incredible? It almost look too artificial, but they are from natural ingredients.
이거를 찜통에 넣어서
So we will, as I mentioned, we will steam the black sesame seed paste with the syrup we just made and then powdered black sesame seeds. So all you need to do is to steam it, and then we'll just use those later. We use mortar to bind it.
This
pound
really
it.
is going back to the cooking of long ago.
Yeah. As I mentioned, it's a traditional cookies with traditional method. 그럼 할까요, 이제 선생님?
자,
So
이렇게.
it's steamed. The black sesame seed is steamed. And then we will pound it.
자, 요거를 이렇게 넣어서요. 쪄주세요.
This really is fun for kids. You know,
Yeah.
pounding is one of the things they love to do the most.
So it does need two process for black sesame seeds. You steam, you make powder, but also you need one more steaming with the syrup. 네. 그렇게 하고 한 거를 좀 보여주죠, 선생님. So if you pound it, also it gives a nice kind of a shiny look to the sesame seeds too, because you know it does contains the oil.
Oh, if the pounding pulls out the oil, so it holds together.
It
I
holds
see.
together, and you have a nice glossy look.
이렇게요.
So that's try this.
This is much softer,
Much softer,
than the others.
and you can feel a little bit of those sesame oil.
Oh, and it smells
really
wonderful.
That's why even though it takes time, we do steam one more time just for that texture. So now next step is the real fun part. 선생님 이거 하시기 전에 좀 보여드리죠. I'd like to show you the cookie mold. This is called the traditional 다식. 다식 means cookie, traditional
That's
cookie.
beautiful.
다식판, it's a cookie mold. So we will put those ingredients. We all prepared 5 different ingredients and make the shape like that.
Now, can you still buy these old cookie molds
Yes,
in
definitely.
Korea?
You can buy antique ones or you can buy brand new ones.
I mean, this is beautiful, even as a kitchen decoration.
I think so, yeah. You might sometimes see a larger size or a smaller size. I think it will make a nice decoration for your kitchen, even though you might not make those 5 다식, 오색다식 at home. And it's quite simple than you think. You just pound it, make sure it's all sturdy. Then let's show the shape.
이렇게요.
There. 우리 접시 쪽으로 쓸까요, 선생님?
It's really charming.
Yeah, it is.
자, 여기다
So
이렇게
these are the
놔주고요.
ones we've
네.
done before. And we'll just add.
초록색.
Yeah. 그 다음에 무슨 색을 할까요?
자, 분홍색도 해보고요.
And we will ask Melanie to do one kind. What color would you like?
Well, I'm going to go for those sesame seeds.
Okay, so for sesame, we'll have Melanie to make it.
이렇게 좀 꼭꼭
So all you
눌러주셔야
need
돼요.
is just to press it hard. So that way the texture will be kind of dense.
Again, it's like clay in a mold.
Yes. And then you have the pink color. Pink is with the mung bean starch and then omija water. And then the brownish color, brown color, which is from the powdered chestnut and honey. That's all. And then you put it in the mold.
네. 이렇게요.
And then nice brown color. You know,
또
we'll pass
black
that to
color?
you.
네.
And you can try one, the black color.
Oh, I get to pick a shape,
Yes.
too. I like this one. This is beautiful.
Uh-huh.
So I just push it in.
Then turn it over. Let's see.
Oh, there you go. That's lovely. And
Yeah, I'll
I
just
think when you
replace
do
that
have a
one.
little on the edge, if you just press it
That's
lightly,
right.
it goes right in.
Perfect. Oh, how pretty. So these are 5 colored cookies we made. And remember, we have one more thing to do, which is a punch, persimmon punch. Let's start the persimmon punch. 수정과, which is a traditional persimmon punch. We're going to start with those ginger and the cinnamon sticks to make the base of the punch.
Now this is really, you know, this is what I love most about more than kimchi, is looking how ingredients change from place to place. In the West and in America, you're used to getting your cinnamon wrapped in little bitty circles.
Right, right.
And this is like the bark of
This
a tree.
is the real one, the real bark of the tree, the cinnamon sticks. So for ginger water, you slice the ginger and put water and then boil it. That's it. Perhaps you will do with the cinnamon stick. With cinnamon stick, we will do the same thing. You put some sticks in the pot and put some water and just boil. You will boil for about 30 minutes.
Couldn't be easier.
Right. Oops, add it over there. So here we have a ginger water that's been boiled for about 30 minutes. And then here you have the ones over there we prepared, which is like cinnamon water. Can you smell the cinnamon?
Smells delicious.
The ginger smell is quite nice too. So we have a ginger and cinnamon water over here. But what we need to do is strain them to get the clear water. So this will be the base of the punch. 이것도 볼까요, 선생님?
Oh, they go together?
Yes.
네. 네, 자, 여기다가요. 설탕 있죠? 설탕
And then
넣어서
for sweet flavor, we will add the sugar. So that's the water from ginger and the cinnamon sticks being boiled. And then we'll add a little bit of sugar.
끓여주세요.
And then boil one more time.
자,
요번엔
그다음에
몇
네.
번 끓이나요? 이렇게 해서요.
아, 요거요?
네.
요거는 한 20분 정도
So
끓여주시고요.
after you mix those two water and then the sugar, boil about 20 minutes or so until the sugar dissolves.
That's it?
Yes, that's
You drink it hot?
You will see.
Oh.
Okay.
자,
The next
그리고
step
네, 제 꽃감
네,
그
is the
수정과 위에 띄울 거예요.
The
꽃감.
next step I'd like to show you is 꽃감. These are dried cinnamons. You've probably seen, I'm sorry, persimmon. You've seen a persimmon in the market?
Yeah.
The round one.
Bright orange color.
What we do is we peel the skin and dry naturally. Then it becomes like this, and it's called 꽃감.
Gotgan.
그다음에
Then
이거를요
카리를 해.
한쪽만 이렇게 해서
이거를 멜라니를 줄까요, 선생님? And then you slice it one side and open it.
네, 그리고 안에 씨를 빼주세요.
And then take off some seeds. Sometimes they have seeds, sometimes they don't.
Yeah, there's a little seed there.
Seeds, so take it out.
거기다 이렇게 호두를요 이렇게 넣으세요.
네. So once you open up the dried persimmon called 꽃감, you put one walnut inside,
하나 더 넣으면 좋고요. 예.
and then you can put one or two. Why don't you
그다음에
put two
이렇게
there?
이렇게 말으세요.
And then you roll it very tight,
You close it back up,
and
basically.
then roll it.
예, 손으로.
Oh, roll it in
Right,
your hand.
yeah. And then you're going to slice them. Once you slide, this is the shape you are getting. So let's see if yours look
Well,
like
that's
this.
really charming.
that
Now,
pretty?
you could serve that just by itself as a kind of
Definitely,
holiday
you can use
cookie.
it as a snack too this
That's
way.
really
Isn't that
cute.
pretty? So it's a 꽃감, the dried persimmon, inside a walnut. Well, yours looks almost the same. I think the important thing is when you roll it, make sure you make it very tight. Once you do that, it will hold the shape better. So that one
This
is
one
pretty good.
did all right.
Yeah, let's just put it
I
next
think
to
maybe
it.
for people who are doing it the first time, it's easiest to start with one walnut half. And then as you get better, you
Yours
can move
look
to
very
two.
nice too. See, I can see the difference. There. Okay, so we have this 꽃감 flour, almost like a dried persimmon flowers.
볼 하나 주겠어요? 유리볼이요?
네.
자, 여기 이제 끓어서
네.
식으면요.
Yeah.
예, 끓여서
So once you boil for about 20 minutes, you need to cool down. This is actually, I didn't want to tell you, but it's a cold punch. So we cool it off and it's very cold. So in a bowl, you have the punch base, which is ginger and cinnamon stick water. And then we'll add the flowers we just made with 꽃감.
자, 여기다 이렇게
Oh,
넣어주시고요.
you just kind of float them around in there. That's charming.
Yeah.
잣을 좀
And then
넣어주세요.
as a garnish, you will use pine nuts.
And do these add more flavor to the punch?
Yes, and you let it sit for a while, and the juice will have the cinnamon and then also those 꽃감 flavor to dried persimmons. And then as a garnish, we have, of course, pine nuts.
That is really
Yeah.
charming.
So this is the real traditional Korean punch called sujungkwa. So this is our dish today, 오색다식 and sujungkwa persimmon punch.
It's
So
been
how did
really
you like it?
exciting
Yeah.
doing something that goes back to Korea from so long ago and following the traditions through the generations.
Yeah, and they turn very nicely. Now let's review our cooking procedure.
Koreans have a tradition of holding ancestral memorial rites at New Year's or Thanksgiving. Many foods are prepared on the morning of the New Year. Soups, pan-fried dishes, vegetables, rice cakes, and fruits are carefully prepared. The dishes are placed on the table according to set rules. 3 kinds of soup are served: a soup with meat, a soup with tofu and vegetables, and finally a soup with fish. Sometimes 5 soups are made. Chicken or duck soup and a combination soup are added. Recently, one soup is served by mixing 3 ingredients together. Ancestral rites have a certain order, but it differs from house to house. Long ago, they were held at schoolhouses, but now they are held at home, and during the day, grave sites are visited. Some ingredients are not allowed to be used when preparing ritual foods. Fish with a strong odor and other ingredients with a strong odor are not used. Ritual soup has more ingredients than regular soup. At ancestral rituals, colorful traditional Korean clothes are allowed to be worn. The reason is that it is a time for serving food to ancestors and sharing the happy holiday occasion. Normally, samsak namul, 3 colors of vegetables are prepared, and sangchae is added. The taste of namul comes from seasoning it with the hands. After it is seasoned, a generous amount is served. Of ritual foods, the pan-fried dishes are the fanciest. Ingredients that are used are pyogo, shiitake, mushrooms, tofu, shrimp, and beef. Hwajan with flower shapes is also made. Gotgam is made by drying persimmon. When served at ancestral rites, they are pressed flat and stacked high. Gotgam is not just stacked. Each one is prepared with care. Chestnuts with a nutty flavor are peeled and then shaped into the same size. The top and bottom of apples and pears are cut flat, and then they are placed in dishes. With persimmon, sometimes only the one placed on top is peeled, and sometimes all of them are peeled. As such, ritual foods have many rules which are proper etiquette and care for ancestors. Rituals have become much more simpler than in the old days, but the care and respect for ancestors and the elderly can still be seen when preparing food.
Today's menu Osekda식 is also offered during an ancestor rite. Shall we taste them now? Boy, they look real pretty. 선생님? Also, we get to enjoy with this punch, cold punch called 수정과.
The odor is wonderful.
Very nice. I love that ginger flavor inside.
A little kick to it with the ginger.
선생님 드시죠. So you get to choose those 5 different colors. So Mrs. Lee is having those 밤다식, which is chestnut cookie. How about you, Melanie?
Sesame, I love
black
the
sesame
fragrance.
seeds.
Thank you.
깨다식, which is called, and I'll try then the green one, which is 콩다식. 콩 means beans. It's a green peas. Go ahead. And also you can use it with your fingers. It's fine.
all right.
This can be served as a dessert or as a snack, and you may use chopstick or you may use your hands. How is it? Whoa.
It's very good.
Can you actually feel the flavor of sesame seeds?
Not strong, but yes, and the texture. Oh, I just got a shot of honey. It's very nice.
Yeah.
Really, and the punch. It's so cute the way the persimmon sits in the bottom like a little surprise
and
waiting
then,
for you.
Right, so later you get to use your spoon to enjoy the dried persimmon called gotgam. But also, this is sujungkwa, which is served cold, but if you just use ginger water and serve hot, it's a ginger tea.
Oh,
which
that
was
would be good
생강차.
too.
Yes.
I am struck by how many similarities there are and how many differences there are. We talked about the ginger and the cinnamon and how we all have holiday cookies, but of course you don't bake yours.
No. Actually, it's interesting. With Korean food, the preparation takes always a long time. But actually, it's not that complicated. It's a lot simpler than your procedure of mixing in, adding a lot of ingredients, and you baking and all those things. So I don't know. It's, each cuisine is all very different. exactly.
Well, I have to try pine pollen because this is intriguing
yes,
me.
Definitely. The yellow color, which is songhwa in Korean, so 송화다식 is what you have.
Well, let's see what it tastes like.
Tastes like pine tree.
It doesn't taste anything like a pine tree. It tastes like ginger. Maybe it's from the tea.
Those are the natural dye that Koreans traditionally use for the yellow color. That we use songhwa, which is pine cone pollen. Interesting.
I think for Western taste, if you were going to try one, you would want to start with the sesame.
And
because
also
that's
chestnut.
and the chestnut, maybe, because
Yeah.
those are two flavors that you're more used to. And also
Right.
the ingredients are more available.
That's right, that's correct. And colors, you can really use whatever that's available for you. Today we made a New Year's food, 오색다식 and 수정과. Why don't you try making these fancy cookies and punch and serve them on your New Year's. Thanks for joining us today, and I hope many of you watching found this program helpful in your discovery of Korean cuisine. 안녕히 계세요.